Hello everybody and welcome to episode 5 of the AZ Melody Night Show. My name is Bryant. We have an awesome show for you guys today. My good friends from Skullpin will be on with us in just a minute. They came all the way up here from Tucson, Arizona. So please go by their Facebook and check them out. Also, if you would like to check out more videos on the AZ Melody Night Show, please go to www.azmelodyknights.com or visit us at our Facebook page at facebook.com/azmelodyknights. Thanks and enjoy the show, guys. Please welcome my co-host for the show, my brother David Bryant. How are you doing today, sir?
Great, thank you.
I'm doing fantastic. We got Memo and Marvin Phillips from Skullpin with us today. They drove all the way up from Tucson to be on the show.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great, man.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Congratulations on the new CD, Bullet. How's that going? Gonna get that out anytime soon?
Right now we don't have any physical copies. We want to do it in a physical copy style this time.
Yeah.
With actual CDs, because our first album, pretty much our first album we did on download, and it kind of like backfired. You know, we didn't have any resources enough to get some CDs for that. But you know, once we get the CD out for Bullet, we're gonna probably retrofit the old CD and make it into CDs, and you know, do like deals and stuff, like where you can get a half price or free.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. But otherwise, you know, the feedback on the album's been great. We've had a few radio stations, like internet radio stations, you know, they're begging us to get it, to play it. Rich from our city, Radio Phoenix, he's got it. He asked for it, and it's on rotation for his show in here in Phoenix.
Very cool.
And we have it on rotation on MHX Radio in Chicago.
Nice.
And we have it on Metal Nation Radio on the CC Getty show. You know, it's all it's always on rotation and stuff.
Is that all internet radio?
Yeah, it's all internet radio. Yeah, I mean that's like to me the way I've looked at it since we started was internet radio is pretty much now like the tape trading thing used to be in the 80s with the thrash metal and stuff like that, where people would trade tapes and stuff. And I think internet radio has taken over that and the new technology, you know, and it's like, you know, you can get on these radio stations and stuff, and it's you know, it's exposure, and that's the main thing.
Absolutely.
For your music, you know, you want to get your music out there so people can hear it, because if nobody hears it, nobody's going to know who you are. You know?
And what else is going on with Skullpin? Any shows? Writing any more music?
We're in the process of getting a new jam spot. So once that happens, we're gonna be going full strength, and we'll definitely be playing some shows. We'll probably have some stuff before the end of the year.
Awesome.
Live, and we're definitely trying to come out here to Phoenix more often and stuff. So
yeah, I'll definitely promote the heck out of that.
We'll be writing for number 3. You know?
Yeah. We're going to be starting writing some new material. We're jonesing to get some new stuff out there.
Yeah, we're going to call it Re-Bullet.
If you guys had to choose one Skullpin song that best described what you guys are going for, what song would that be and why?
It's really hard to kind of just put it on one, because we actually, I mean, I don't think we think about it, but we do intentionally try to make each song different.
Yeah.
So, but the new album has a lot of songs actually that we feel are really strong. I mean, we have things in each song that we love. So, but I mean, there's just a lot of different flavors you got going on. So, I mean, but really a really good, well-rounded song, I think, off of that album. Maybe Kill the Messenger. It's got a lot of things going for it. Yeah. So.
Well, that's awesome. Remember, it will be out soon for all of you.
And when you do it DIY, man, you're a slave to your own resources.
I know. I do what you're talking about. And then completely off topic, what are some of the stuff you guys like to do outside of the music?
I airbrush on the weekends. That's actually one of my main incomes.
Really
that's awesome.
Really
talented,
talented,
man. And I take care of my 2 kids, you know. That's where the airbrush helps in with that, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get the time, I mean, I go to the gym, you know, I get that going, and if I get to play some Diablo 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Video games. That's what I'm talking about.
He's a video game boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to check out his portfolio, dude, he's what is it, Airbrush Memo?
Yeah.
On Facebook. Yeah.
I'll put that link in the descriptions.
Yeah, he's got a portfolio on Facebook for if anybody's interested in his stuff. You know, it's a local swap meet down there. You know, and that's like his, you know, it's his money, man. I mean, it's like, you know, support local business, you know.
Yeah.
Him and his mom, they're really talented, man. They made my wife and mine and my kids. They made them shirts and stuff. And
that's awesome.
It's all freehand too, man. It's like they sit there and say, "Oh, can you draw this?" He's like, "Sure." And he goes and tries to find a stencil, and it's like, "Oh, I can't find it."
Yeah,
he just does it by hand, you know. These guys are talented, really.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Pretty much, outside of music, I read a lot. Yeah. You know, I saw that on one of your last episodes, Bobby was a Game of Thrones whore. I just got done reading that series.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I'm not like into it, but yeah, I thought it was great. You know, I agree with Bobby on a lot of the points that he made about the series. I thought it was awesome. It just pisses you off that George Martin is like digging around and not trying to get the damn series done. You know, and I just want to read. I want to finish reading the damn thing. George, if you're out there. But yeah, I read. You know, I play video games a little bit. I'm a computer gamer more than a console gamer. I do MMOs and stuff. I do the Star Wars one. And I've done like back when it was out. So I did City of Heroes for like 6 years.
Yeah. This game.
I had like 40 characters, you know, villains and heroes. Yeah, I did that.
Those are my 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
Heroes and
But other than that, I mean, I'm also a music whore. I listen to music all the time.
Yeah.
I watch Palladia. I watch DVDs. It's like just music is just like, personally for me, music is like my soul. It's like everything about my life. You know, even my kids and my wife and everything. It just music always has something to do with all of it in my life, and that's just how I am with music. It's like it's just everything about it is just like me. You know, and that's just like. Takes up a lot of time, you know, because it's like I know a lot about the history of music. You know, I'm like glued to Palladia. I mean, I watch Palladia all the time, and and people don't know that's a channel that just music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, concerts, documentaries, and I mean, like last night I just got done doing a marathon of like I had a whole bunch of shit DVR'd. And I watched all of it. It was like the Metal Mania show with the genres show.
Oh yeah.
The Sam Dunn thing with the genres, the different genres.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was watching some Songsphere stuff. And, you know, I just try to immerse myself in music, and that's pretty much outside of work. That's all I really do.
Yeah.
It's just reading and education and music. So
yeah, for sure.
And sports.
Oh wait, yeah. Well, sports, but don't count. That's like an instinctual thing. It's like
Go Broncos.
Go Manning.
Since I'm horrible at coming up with questions, we're going to go to the Wrath of Von Eaton mug. Shamelessly plug our band Wrath of Von Eaton.
Get a drummer, you guys, Jesus.
Yes.
Makes coffee taste better.
All right.
Don't put decaf in that cup.
For either one of you or both of you, what have been some of the highlights being in this band?
Creative freedom, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the biggest. I think if you don't have that in any type of group that you're trying to actually have something that, you know, withstands time, you know, that you can enjoy, you definitely have to have creative freedom. You know, it's really drama free. I mean, we've gone through some drama situations, but I mean, nothing.
It's not like between each.
It's
not between members.
you know.
Right.
It's just like outside drama.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it has to be the brotherhood, the creative freedom. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people say that the brotherhood thing. You shouldn't have to have that in a band, and I think that's total bullshit.
Right.
I mean, if you can't get along with the people that are in your band, you know, it's like, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Because most people don't realize what do you do in a band more than play shows anything, you practice.
Yeah.
And if you guys, it's all that time you're spending with the guys in your band, and you can't get along because you got ego problems and all that, why?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're not signed and, you know, there's not a reason to try to stay together,
That's true, yeah.
you know, then why are you doing it? Because, you know, bottom line to me is music is all about the love of it. If you don't love doing what you're doing, why in the hell are you doing it? If you're doing it for money, why are you doing music for money?
Especially in the metal genre.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're doing it for money, it's like, go be a stockbroker or something. You know, get into the money business.
Yeah.
It's like, because music is not a money-making industry. Because, like, if you think about it, you're always in the what do you call it? In the red.
Yeah.
You're always in the red from the time you buy your first guitar.
Right.
And then if you want to buy really good gear, then you're really in the red. You know,
I'm really in the red.
But you know what I mean? But to me, to answer the question, the biggest thing that I really got, that I love about this band, is not only the camaraderie between me, Memo, and Ray, is that without meeting Memo and this band bringing me and him together, Memo's become my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I never knew Memo until he called me one day and said, "Hey, I heard you're looking for a guitar player for a new band." And me and him, over the last 2 years, you know, being in this band, we've grown as like friends. You know, me and him are like practically brothers.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
Me and him are practically brothers.
practically. No, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of like smushy and, you know, not really metal to be emotional.
It's
but
okay. Well, no. They say a lot of times that being in a band's like being married.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is.
And I mean, I've been playing personally. I've been playing 25 years. I've been a bassist for 25 years. And I mean, I've never played. I've played in like maybe 8 to 10 bands in my whole career. I played in Chicago. I played here. And, you know, I played all over the place. And him and Ray, I mean, I've never played with guys that I'm that close to, and musically we're just so on the same. I mean, we don't even have to. We've never had an argument in this band, have we?
No,
Never.
Wow. We just don't restrict each other. You know,
Yeah.
if someone brings something to the table, and you know, if it doesn't flow, it just won't flow. But you know, that even hardly happens. You know what I mean? You know,
We've never. You know what's funny is we've had a rule in this band that if one of us doesn't like something, we either fix it or we throw it away.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys probably relate to this too. I mean, you ever been in a band where you have that one song where they go, "Hey, let's play this song," and there's always one guy in the band that goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why we came up with that rule.
yeah.
Because if we have to practice this stuff all the time, it's got to be something we all enjoy every time we play it.
Yeah.
And if we're not enjoying it, then we fix it. And if we don't fix it, we throw it away because we don't want someone in the band that's unhappy.
Right.
And that's basically our main thing is,
Yeah.
you know, we've never had to throw anything out.
Oh, it's awesome.
All the songs that we've had, we've never thrown anything out.
Or maybe twisted stuff around. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've never thrown it out, though. We've fixed it.
Yeah.
You know, and then we said, hey, well, maybe let's try it like this or let's try it like that. And, you know, and we all, and that's the thing about our band, we all have a say.
yeah.
There's nobody, and we always try everything once before we decide if we like it or not. Because that's another thing in bands that kind of sucks is when you get one guy, no, I don't want to do it, no, and it's like, dude, just try it. You don't even know if it's going to sound good or not. You know, you're already sitting there going, no, and then usually when you try it, the guy goes, okay, it's okay. You know, it's like, just give it a shot. You know, it's like, what's the matter? You don't like Brussels sprouts or something? You haven't tried it. It's like you never know if you're gonna like something until you actually put it in practice. You can't make music. You know, you can think you know what it sounds like in your head, but then unless you play it, you know, you're not gonna know exactly what it's gonna sound like. Because there's been times where I've brought songs to these guys and I had it already in my head, like pretty sure I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure Ray's gonna do this on the drums and, you know, Memo's going to do this on the guitar, and, you know, this and that. And then when we actually put the song together, it, like, comes out better than I thought it was going to be, you know? So, but that's pretty much the way I feel personally about our band, is that's the thing that I like the most, is just the friendship, the brotherhood. you know, and you know, we're not into pleasing anybody. I mean, we play for ourselves pretty much. We appreciate all the fans. We appreciate all the support, and we really do. But in the end, we just want to write music we want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
All right.
He's like, Big Marge over here.
Next question. What are some of the bands you're currently listening to?
Like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, just music in general?
Yeah.
My taste is all over the place. I mean, like metal stuff. I like, you know, I still love Fear Factory. Iron Maiden's like one of my favorite band of all time. I'm a Steve Harris.
Yeah.
I'm a worshiper. I mean, that's where a lot of my bass playing style comes from. Is Steve Harris. My three main influences is I also like Chili Peppers. Flea is amazing. I mean, most people he's so underrated. Most people don't realize how. I mean, the groove that he has, it's natural. I mean, you just listen to their songs and you hear the bass lines he's playing, and it's like, you know, that's not something you can teach. You can't teach that groove. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
And then, like, for my out-of-the-box thinking, when I write songs and stuff, personally, is that sometimes I go out of the box, and a lot of my out-of-the-box influence has come from, like, Les Claypool.
Yeah.
That guy is an amazing songwriter. It's like, you hear him do some of the stuff he does on bass, and you're sitting there going, where's this guy's brain at? It's like, how'd you come up with a riff like that? You know, it's like, the riff is so simple, but it's so genius. You know what I mean? And that's where I come from. But you know, Maiden's like, I listen to that a lot, Fear Factory, but I also go outside. Like, I like to listen to stuff like The Cars, The Police. The other day I just did all that. I just listened to a bunch of stuff outside. And my favorite band outside of metal right now is Black Country Comedian. It's a super group with Glenn Hughes from he was in bands like he was in Deep Purple, played bass with Deep Purple, and then Joe Bonamassa, he plays guitar in that band, and Jason Bonham plays drums.
Yeah.
And they have a keyboard player too, but I'm not up on the keyboard players. But those are the bands that I'm like right now, kind of shuffling through. You know, still like Pantera, Death, Slayer. You know, I still listen to all that stuff, but. You know, outside of metal, I listen to a lot of different stuff.
That's how I am on being in a metal band.
Yeah,
sometimes the last thing I want to hear is metal.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
So what about you? Yeah, it's like, you know, just like what we were saying, it's cool to find like outside influences, you know what I mean? Because you can always pick up on whatever, you know. I'm not genre specific. I just, you know, I'll listen to whatever pretty much. I'm a big like 80s thrash guy, you know. I love all that, especially like I have an Anthrax song living in my car, you know. You know,
listen to that on the way up.
Yeah. And then you know, Murder Moth, you know.
Oh yeah, Mount Marth, dude.
You know, and then
that's my new favorite band of all time, right? Yeah, those guys are sick.
You know, but you know, old school 90s death metal stuff.
Yeah,
you know, but I even like, you know, some of the 80s stuff, like, you know, I don't mind, you know, a little bit Duran Duran or Depeche Mode, for the ladies, you know. It's
all for the ladies. You hear that out there?
Oh. But yeah, there's a lot of, you know, interesting stuff, especially when you go out of your boundaries and, you know, you try to absorb and use, you know, use what you can from it, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because metal, you know, I told a guy one time, he was all making fun of me, he was like, this is Black Country Communion, it's blues rock, it's all, that's gay, and I'm like, well, where do you think metal came from, a vacuum? It's like metal just showed up on your doorstep one day, and it's like, oh, look, listen to me, you know, and it's like, you know, a lot of musicians nowadays, they need to, you know, a lot of musicians, to me, these days, they don't educate themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they get stuck on like one band, or they stay closed-minded, or they stay genre-specific, and it's like, why do you do that to yourself? Because it's like music is like an encompassing thing. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do you want to stay in a little corner? You know, why not expand and because like the other day, I've heard of King Crimson, but then I was watching the show. I was watching one of the Sam Dunn shows, and they were talking about King Crimson because they were talking about progressive metal.
Yeah.
And I never even heard them before. And then when I heard them, I was just like, oh my God! These guys were doing this shit in the 60s.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, Jesus Christ! You know, and it's just like that wonderment, that exploration, you know, and when you learn new things and you just like, you know, you hear a band today, you know, and then you hear that, oh, whatever, they were doing this shit back in '63, and you're like, no, and then you hear it and you're like, whoa. You know, and I mean, that's what makes a great band, is you write for yourself and you try to be as creative as possible, you know. I mean, limiting yourself on trying to be like somebody it's ridiculous, because music is so wide open. It's like a fingerprint. Every single person who writes music, excuse me, it's their own thing, you know. And that's where the great bands come from. The ones that, if you notice, the one common thing of all great bands, they always say, we write what we want to write. We don't give a fuck if anybody else likes it. They all say that. They all say it. So it's like, why not do that for yourself? Oh, I said fuck.
we don't care.
You're bad. No, just kidding.
Next questions. Do you guys have any pre-show rituals?
Not me, really. I mean,
I think I did some push-ups.
You did. He does now.
That's just to take some of the edge off. I mean, I've played a lot of shows. I mean, with previous bands and stuff. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes you get up, you know you're about to play, and you still get that jitter a little bit, you know what I mean? And and you pick up the guitar, and you still kind of feel cold, and like, oh man, and then usually you see, like in the second song, the third song of the set, everything starts
Start melting.
Getting into it.
Start melting.
You know what I mean? But
that's how I feel every time we
yeah, I mean, I usually like to have a couple beers. I mean, but nothing too crazy,
Yeah, well, my pre-show ritual is funny, and I've had it since 1996, and I just 4. Yeah. And I go to the bathroom and I wash my hands and I dry them off. I look at myself in the mirror, if there's one, and I just look at myself and just go, and then I just walk out on stage and play the show.
And if there's not a mirror, the show doesn't happen. It's game over.
Yeah, we had to cancel a few times because of that. Not really.
So close, please have a beer in your room.
No, but I mean, it's just that, it's like I don't know, it's kind of like athletes. They just have that one little thing that they do. Mm-hmm. I just go in there and I just wash my hands and just take a deep breath and just go out there and then what's funny is it's another thing that you hear all the time too. It's like you might have those jitters or whatever, but then right when you hit that first note, boom, it's gone for sure. And then it's just like focus, and that, that's pretty much it for me.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Next question. Were there any local bands that influenced you guys?
Anything for you?
I guess when I started off playing the local scene, I didn't really much. I didn't really know much of the local scene that was going on. But there were some good players and stuff for sure that I started, friending and
players,
and knowing and stuff. So, but as far as bands particularly, I really tried to pay attention to that too much. I was just always really focused into what I was doing, So, no offense to the other local bands, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I did have one band in my career that was actually local that I did look up to and I really liked a lot, and they're actually really good friends of mine. When I was playing in the Chicago music scene, it's a band called Lungbrush. And you can find their stuff on YouTube still. They're actually signed. They're on, I think, Pavement, I think. And I knew those guys when I was we played shows with them. And, these guys were so brilliant, man. They were heavy as hell. And the singer, they call him Roach. And the dude was like this tall, man. He was like 5'2". No, I'm not shitting you, man. I'm serious. When you go on there and look up Lauren Brush, and you'll see like live gigs of this guy, and the voice that he had. I mean, he was so short, but he was just. And unfortunately, you know, Lauren Brush broke up in 02. I was living in Tucson at the time when they broke up, but I think a few years later, it was unfortunate. Roach, he died. He died of cancer and stuff. So he was a really great guy. And the thing that was cool about him is he had a shaved head, and he had this tattoo on the side of his head of a dude just going like that. and he grew a patch of hair for his beard. Those guys were great, dude. I mean, and you know what's funny is you check out their music and you listen to it, they were ahead of their time. I mean, it was just like, they were just one of those bands that you couldn't really, you're like, they kind of like have a Pantera vibe, but they were doing stuff that people are doing today, back then, in like the 90s, you know? Oh. And they kind of influenced me a lot because just on the, not as a player, but as just the professionalism, the stage presence. It's just every time I seen them, man, they just brought the shit. They just brought the energy, and they were great. But that's probably the only band that I've ever had influence me.
Nice. If you had to choose one album to listen to the rest of your life, what would it be? Just one.
Bullet. No.
Perfect Harmony.
Oh no, you want Perfect Harmony? I'll take Bullet.
Yeah. That's funny.
Well, I mean, what better thing to listen to the rest of your life is your own shit.
Right.
I mean, that's why you write it anyway. Right?
Probably Master of Puppets. I mean,
yeah.
I know it's probably a lot of people's pick, but I mean, I don't really get bored of that album. You know what I mean? So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really, man, that's a hard choice, man, because there's so many albums that I just, even to this day, I just listen to them all the time. I would probably have to say Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden. I never get sick of that album.
Didn't know this question would be so easy for you guys to answer.
Either that or Power Slave. It'd be a Maiden album, because I mean, through the years, it's like awesome when you know you love a band so much that you don't listen to them for years, and then you listen to it again, and it seems like the first time you threw the headphones on, and then you're like, wow, why haven't I listened to this lately? You know? But it's an easy question because you know I listen to music all the time, and it's like there's a lot of stuff I get burned out on really quick.
So I think we got one last question on the cup.
From the cup.
See if David can read it.
What are some of the musicians that you look up to and admire?
I went through a big James Hetfield era. Well, I was like, there was one of the bands I don't know a band I was doing vocals and guitar, and that's where I was going. But I mean, as far as just writing the riffs and stuff, as far as like lead players, Alex Skolnick and of course, Chuck Schnoller. There's things at Dimebag I really like. There's but I like a lot of the European stuff, and a lot of older In Flames and the way they were doing their harmonies and stuff. It was way awesome.
Their old stuff's really good.
Dug all that. But those are pretty much when I go to draw from the guitars. I mean, of course, Dave Mustaine too, I totally respect, is, he did a lot of things, for sure. Especially a lot of the arrangements and all that. Pretty genius,
Yeah. Steve Harris, of course, I already said that. Steve Harris, Flea, and Les Claypool, they were like my biggest influences.
Yeah.
But through the years, influences come and go, except for like the ones that stick with you for your whole life. Steve Harris has been the only one out of the three that have really stuck with me, because I got into Flea when I started learning slap bass. And then just when I saw Primus for the first time, it was just like, how could you not be influenced by that? You know what I mean? I don't know. But other influences, like over the years, I admired David Ellison Allison, Megadeth.
Yeah.
He's a really solid bassist. You know, I'm a finger player, but he's solid. You know, that guy's solid as hell.
Can't deny.
And actually, Chuck Schuldiner, even though he's a guitar player, he really influenced me a lot, like my songwriting and my vocal style. Because when I started doing vocals, I studied like Tom Araya. I studied Chuck Schuldiner. I studied the I don't know his name, but the vocalist from Corner. He's a bass player, singer too, and that guy's amazing. If you guys never heard Corner, you should check it out. You know, but I mean, a lot of guitar players influenced me over the years too, like Vinnie Moore, and man, I can't think of names right now. But you know, like the whole classical guitar movement of the late '80s, early '90s. You know, Yngwie Malmsteen, Vinnie Moore, Tony McAlpine, all the Jason Becker. Marty Friedman when he was with Cacophony, and you know all that. I was a teenager in that era, and it was like that was the big thing at the time was all these instrumental bands, you know, like Joe Satriani and all that. And it was like, there wasn't really a lot of bass out there, you know. There wasn't really, I mean, I never even knew who Lemmy was until like the '90s, you know, because I mean my musical background was kind of weird. Most people trip out when I tell them. First real metal band I ever heard. And was like, whoa, was Molly Curtin.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was an MTV kid.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw Shout at the Devil on MTV, and I was just like, you know, on MTV, I was like, whoa. And then it expanded from there. And then metal was when I heard, a friend of mine came over with Power Slave on vinyl in '85. And then he goes, dude, you gotta check this out. And I threw it on there, and ever since then I was hooked on these.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, pretty much I got a lot of influences. Guitar players, bass players, just musicians in general.
Yeah.
Where can the fans find you guys on social media?
I know.
Facebook.com/a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, pretty much. Or the easiest way to do it, which I think is so funny, people are like, where's the link? Just put it in the search engine. Jesus Christ, just put Skull Pin and it'll pop up.
You can even type it in Google.
Exactly. Yeah, Google will take you there too.
Yeah, we're on Reverb Nation, which we hardly check. We're on Facebook, which we always check.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a Twitter. I don't think so.
No, we don't.
I don't think we're doing that.
Twitter's
I have a Twitter and I hate it.
No, but I mean, also you can. I mean. We like to interact with fans. I mean, I really do. I mean, I'm on Facebook a lot. You can also hit up my personal page. We don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about him, but I don't care. You know, you can leave questions about the band or whatever on my personal page, because pretty much all my personal pages is about the band anyway.
Yeah. You can personally attack.
Yeah, you can personally attack me. Don't worry, it's been done.
Yeah.
Several times.
He's a douche.
Yeah, I'm a big douche. Yeah. He's just mad because I'm a Colts fan.
Yeah.
I love the Colts for 15 years.
Liar!
Until Peyton. Anyways, thanks guys.
Thank you for having us, man. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate it, man.
For sure.
David? Thanks, guys. Thanks, man. We really appreciate you guys picking us to come here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks for making the trip.
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
anytime, man.
Check out Sculpin. Word.
Awesome.
Cool.